According to the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, 9 out of 10 estate agents are now reporting a fall in house prices. Of course, this on top of the separate data obtained by the BBC, which certainly highlights that more than 23,000 people who did buy last year with a 100% mortgage, basically no deposit, could be seeing negative equity. Of course, negative equity being where the value of their home is less than the value of their mortgage. So a lot of grim news out there. Let's dive straight into it because Merryn Somerset Webb, the editor of MoneyWeek, joins us. Merryn, I was only joking, of course, but let's start with this. Well, maybe not. Let's start with this 23,000 figure for negative equity. You say that's just the tip of the iceberg.
It is absolutely the tip of the iceberg. This data only takes us up to the end of March, and we know that house prices really started falling in earnest in April and May, where we saw falls of 2% plus a month. So house prices are now, depending on whose numbers you look at, down somewhere between 6 and 8% from their peaks. And that means that it's not just people who've taken out a 100% mortgage who are in negative equity, but an awful lot of people who took out, say, a 95% mortgage, which is pretty standard.
So they're getting hit as well. Talking of house sale, I mean the price of houses falling, we started seeing it as a slow decline, as a gradual decline, but that ball seems to be rolling faster.
Absolutely. I mean that's usually what happens in a house market crash. You get a period when exactly what you're seeing at the moment, where you say volumes are at a 30-year low. You get a period when there's a standoff between buyers and sellers. The sellers are absolutely not going to drop their prices because they know what these houses sold for last year and they don't want to take any less. And the buyers are saying, well, I'm not paying that price, no way. And you get a point where somebody's got to give. And it's certainly not going to be the buyers at the moment, it's got to be the sellers. So and that's what you've started seeing happening the last couple of months. The sellers having to take the prices they're offered. They're not setting the prices, they're now the price takers.
And there's not much choice for them, right? So what we're seeing being sold now, as you say, is the sellers having to give in, cave in, and just accept.
And we've only seen that in a small way so far. The volumes are so low, it's hard to say, that's happening in earnest. But over the next few months, you'll start to see people who have to sell. There are always people who have to sell for one reason or another, for financial reasons, for employment reasons, etc. And then you see people who realise that the house they're buying has fallen in price as well, so it doesn't make any difference if they accept 10% less. So over the next few months, I think you'll see the price falls accelerating even further.
But surely there's some good news out there, at least for, say, first-time home buyers, if they've got the money, of course, for a deposit.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is all great news for first-time buyers. Not, I think, because it's a good time for them to buy a house. It isn't. If they want to get a good deal at the moment, they've got to have a 25% deposit, and you're talking 30, 40 grand. No one's got that kind of money at the moment. So I don't think it's good for first-time buyers in terms of actually buying, but it's great for them in that they don't have to worry about buying anymore. They know it's cheaper to rent than it is to buy in most of the country, and they can just forget about the ladder. They can just sit back, rent, and wait.
So the pressure is off.
Yeah,
well, Merryn Somerset Webb from MoneyWeek, thanks. Always a pleasure there. See, I told you.